On the left-hand side, we have our Visual Studio Code Editor, and on the right-hand side, we have our terminal. In our VS Code Editor, we've already added in an empty folder called tinyhouse_v1. And in our terminal, we've navigated down to that very same folder. tinyhouse_v1 would essentially be the directory where we build the app for the first part of our course. To get things started, we're going to create a subfolder called server. This server subfolder would essentially host the server portion of our app. We'll go ahead and have an index.js file be created within this server subfolder. Now, for our very first attempt, we're going to see how we could use Node to run some JavaScript code. And the first code we're going to write is a simple console log message. We're going to attempt to log something into our terminal console. And the first thing we're going to look to log is a simple string that says hello world. Next, we're going to create two variables. We're going to create a variable called 1, and we're going to create a variable called 2. Notice that we've given numerical values to these variables according to their name. So 1 is given a numerical value of 1, and 2 is given a numerical value of 2. We're using the const keyword here. Const is one of the ES6 preferred ways of defining a variable. It essentially allows us to specify variables and give them values in which they can't be changed through reassignment. Finally, we're going to fire off another console log message, and in this case, we're going to fire off an interpolated string. We're going to state that we want to see 1 plus 2 is equal to the sum of the values of the variables we've defined above. Notice that we're using backticks here, or ES6 template literals. This allows us to essentially embed expressions within our string. So what we attempt to see here is a message that says 1 plus 2 is equal to 3. Now in our terminal, let's run this JavaScript code. And to do so, we're going to use the node command. The node command can take an argument for essentially the location of the file in which you want to run the code. Since we're already within the tinyhouse_v1 directory, we want to run the index.js file. So we'll say node server/index.js. And when we press enter here, we can see the two console log messages that we fired up. Hello world, and 1 plus 2 equals 3.